Alright, welcome to the Young Gun Show, where us as teenagers teach you how to become rich, and it works. Connor, would you like to start us off here?
Yeah, I think it's good if we take a minute just to introduce ourselves. Maybe let's talk about some personal things we like to do, and then along with that, let's go into some of our specialties in the group, what we bring to the group as financial buddies, you could say. And Caden, why don't we have you start us off and just roll this way?
Perfect. So, some of my hobbies, as you could say, I really enjoy marketing. I'm pretty gifted at that. I've always found that fun. I love pretty much any investment, stocks, real estate, crypto, all of those beautiful things. I'm very bullish on silver, crypto, and real estate. Those I think are really good and that we need to. Thank you.
Lorenzo.
Okay, my name is Ren. I love all things finance. I started investing when I was 8 years old, and I started with the stock market, so I would consider that one of my specialties. And yeah, that's basically all I have to share. I love sports too. Let's go, Noah.
Hello, okay, I'm Noah. I come from a background, I used to be 230 pounds. I was fat, but I was able to change my life around mostly thanks to these guys, and I'm very grateful for that. And as a consequence of that, I'm very passionate about the gym. I love marketing. I love digital design, crypto, real estate. All aspects of the monetary world are just very interesting to me, and I'm very excited to be here with these guys and talk about some money with you guys.
I'm Connor. I absolutely love skiing. I know that's not exactly what we're talking about, but I love skiing. If you'll catch me anywhere around the world, come up, say hi to us. I guess you could say I'm the real estate guy of our group. Is that a safe assumption? Is that
Oh,
safe to
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of the real estate guy. Very into that. We'll later dive into how to make money with and without, how to build your real estate portfolio with and without money. And yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of how we met and kind of the journey of finding people who are like-minded and kind of building a group. Everyone here kind of has an individual skill, along with all of us liking and enjoying the same things when it comes to finances. So why don't we jump into that? I'll start us off. For a while, I mean, all sorts of baseball teams, football teams, everything, every kind of sport you can do. I've been pretty social. I absolutely love team sports. I definitely a team player, and can definitely be a ball hog, as some can say. But finding these guys wasn't always easy. For a long time, I've always been trying to find people who are like-minded, finding people who are interested in the things that I like, trying to find things that we can learn and grow and profit with together. So definitely gone through a lot of smaller business partners, you could say, people who turned out to not be trustworthy or who weren't in it, weren't locked in. And so I'm sure for all of you guys as well, that's been a struggle, right? Finding people who are like us, because I think it's safe to say that we all think the same way and have the same aspirations and dreams. So with that, Lorenzo, why don't you share a little bit about your story and finding the group?
Okay, so I think the hardest thing as an investor, or as a youth investor in general, is a lot of the kids you deal with on a day-to-day basis, they don't believe the same things as you, and they don't want to talk about it. Sometimes you feel like a nerd or an outcast, you feel like different. I think for me, when I found this group, I found people who I could talk about what I actually enjoy doing with, and I think that that's really important in life in general, not even just with finance, but in life. If you are a baseball team and you can't trust the guys you're playing with, it really doesn't work. Nothing happens. It'll just automatically fail.
Absolutely.
So I believe that with this group we have something very special that a lot of people, they can't say that they found that. And I know that if you're looking for that, you will find it in the most unexpected places. And I just want to say right now, to all these guys, I'm so grateful for you guys because you pulled me out of a place I didn't want to be in. So thank you.
100%.
I'll go next. So it's no secret that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Everybody's heard it on any YouTube short. It's a really common phrase, and that really is true. If you're not hanging out with very driven people, you're oftentimes not driven. It's really a blessing that we all found each other and have the same goals and are working towards the same things, because we spend a lot of time together and we have really after meeting each other, we've really found our rhythm and found what we need to really create our dreams. So we met each other at a bonfire, actually, at our good friend's house.
Yes, we did.
It was.
Oh, hold
was
on. I think we
really
need to
good.
pause. Obviously, me and Caden are brothers. If we didn't already know that, people say we look the same. I would have to strongly disagree as the better-looking brother. And we've known Noah. Noah moved into our city for, it's probably 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a
So we've been able to learn and grow with each other, and definitely tried lots and lots of different things. And that's where Lorenzo comes in at this bonfire. Where Caden's sitting there, kind of on the side. He's looking at stocks, and I just see him go, "Ugh, dude, I'm going through the thick of it right now." He's like, my crypto's not going great. And we've always heard of this kid who everyone knows. He's like, "Oh yeah, Ren's way into finances. Ren's kind of a genius." We're like, "All right." So I'm like, "Hey, I think that's Ren. I think that's who it is." And I've heard lots about this kid. I'm like, "Hey, dude." So we just start talking, chatting it up. And I call Caden over. I'm like, "Caden, come here. Like, this kid's also like way into silver and gold. He's like definitely a stacker." And again, they start talking. I'm like, "Noah, why don't you get over here? I called you." And I was like, "Dude, you have to get over here." Like, we met one of the boys. Like, we need to welcome him into the group. And finally, after that, we talked for hours.
Literally 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a long time. A lot of stuff was going on, and ever since then, our group chat has been blowing up with all sorts of things, all sorts of different ideas, lots of creativity, and yeah, lots of different ideas. So definitely good. Noah, why don't you share kind of some of your experiences meeting us and
Yeah.
whole group
So
forming?
I'm a big believer in God, and I really don't think it's a coincidence that we've all found each other. Me and my brother Ari, we've known the Fens for many years, and we met Lorenzo, and we're all very like-minded individuals. We're all very passionate about the pursuit of wealth. And I think it's just the age-old saying that you attract who you are on the inside and what you desire. Those things that you want in your heart and that you strive for are the things that you're going to attract. If you're a negative-minded person and you're not ambitious and you don't have goals, then you're going to attract like-minded people. Whereas, on the other hand, if you're motivated like us and you want to become wealthy and you want to become an exceptional man, then you are going to attract other men like this that are going to help you along your way.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that's kind of us meeting each other. I just want to say to all the listeners out there are people like you. It's going to be hard to find it, and part of finding those people is portraying who you are and portraying exactly what you want. It's no joke to everyone who knows us. Like, we're into these things. These are the things that we're doing. We're driven. There's going to be times we're not going to be able to come hang out. We're working late into the night and getting lots done, being productive. Obviously, like finishing projects. That's a big thing. So wrapping things up often. So portraying who you are to other people is going to attract those people. The reason that I knew Ren was so into this stuff is because everyone knew that. It's because that's how he portrayed himself, and he wasn't afraid to be like, like, I'm into these things, but I don't really want to seem like a nerd who's just like way into money and stocks and crypto and real estate and silver and gold stacking. No, he put that forward. He put that into the world, and then the three of us obviously can meet him. So that's one thing I urge all of you to do, all the listeners, is portray who you are, because that's gonna bring other people who are like-minded and who have the same goals and aspirations to you.
That's awesome. Now we all may get along really well, but we have a major thing that we all disagree on: silver versus stocks versus crypto versus real estate. Which is the best, guys?
Yeah, that's a good discussion.
This is the
Oh, no.
age-old discussion.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a long time. None of us will change our minds. This is just.
I want to say one other thing is this is our first time doing a podcast all together.
Yes.
So we're still trying to learn like the rhythm of who's gonna talk the most, because we all want to talk and share our feelings about investing.
Yes.
So we're trying to learn right now.
Yeah, 4 is bigger than 2. 4 is definitely
Four is
to-
hard to
Yeah,
keep it going.
100%.
So we might be a little bit unorganized at times,
For
but
sure.
yeah, let's just do the topic. What's your favorite topic out of those ones?
I am going to have to say silver.
Yeah, why don't we all just pick our one thing? It doesn't have to be the things you listed. Like 1 or 2 things that we're like way into. That's kind of our thing because I know exactly what you guys are, but some people don't. So let's go into that, and then we'll deep dive into each aspect of those. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Kaden, what did you say? Did you say?
I'm very, very bullish on precious metals.
Yes.
Yes,
Ladies and
sir.
gentlemen, all of us agree with all of these things, but we each kind of have our own little thing that we believe is better than the others, and I believe that silver is the future. There are lots and lots of silver stackers out there. One of my favorite is Robert Kiyosaki. The man is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
I saw a YouTube video of his, and he was talking about how he spent like 400 grand on, I think it was a bunch of gold or something back in the day, and then he just bought like a $4 million house, but he only spent 400,000 on that silver. So that silver went up in value, or that gold went up in value and paid for that house. I'm very, very bullish on that, and I think that is kind of the best investment as really youth or even adults to do, because it will go up. The industrial use for it and just anything else, it will go up. Ren, you want to take us off with your specialty?
Yeah, so I 100% agree with Kaden. I'm very bullish on precious metals as well. But if we need to be different from each other, I would say passive income in the stock market. So I really like dividend stocks where I don't have to lift a finger to make money. So I can be lazy and just money's coming into my account. I believe that if you don't have to work, you have more time to do other projects, which is kind of why I like it, because I have time to be a YouTuber, start podcasts, goof off with my friends, and I'm still getting paid. So yeah, I just like the stock market in general. I feel like it's the most passive way to make money, because in some other areas, it's quote unquote passive, but you have to put in a lot of work. Stocks, you don't really have to, so I like them.
Yeah, well, I am the crypto man. I believe wholeheartedly that eventually crypto is going to replace physical cash. I believe that physical currency is one day going to die out, and that crypto is going to be the new form of transaction. I love everything. I'm a trader, an investor. I know everything there is to know about it. I love, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those things. I don't really deal with any of those meme tokens or anything. I think those are just for degenerates mostly, but for the mainstream crypto, I think it's a very valuable asset to have.
I 100% agree. Like I previously mentioned, my big thing is real estate. I just you can go buy silver. I mean, back in the day when we got started, it was, I don't even remember, under $20. Well, under $20, and now we're past 50, around that 50 mark, which is crazy. Like that's easy to get into. Real estate's not always so easy, or at least people don't think it is. And so that's one thing that. I'm gonna have to say real estate. It's hard to pick one thing, right? Because like we're all in agreement of all of these things. That's one thing that like brought us together. But I'm gonna have to go real estate. I feel like that's one of the best things to have, the best asset.
Can I say something real quick?
Got that.
I would like to say that one thing that you noticed is we all kind of have our own specialty and our own thing that we're good at. This is one thing that makes an incredibly good team, because while I don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly in cryptocurrency, I do know that you can make money there. And since we all want to make money, we all want to learn from each other. Because eventually, if we know all of the areas, even not perfectly, but we understand all of the areas, we can pull money from real estate, we can pull money from cryptocurrency, and we can pull money from unexpected places. And that's really what set apart the wealthy from the rich big dogs. The big dogs, they understand it all. The just wealthy millionaires, they probably got really good at one thing and that worked for them. But like the big guys, like Jeff Bezos, all the big people who are running the whole world, they know all of the places. They've dabbled in all of the different assets and the classes that those bring. So
and along with that, we all have our own specialty in investing, and we've kind of gone over that, but there's also in building a business and growing a business together. For example, we have some pretty good marketers. I mean, all sorts of design and stuff. Like obviously, like some of you have that skill. I don't. I definitely would consider myself more of the sales guy of our businesses, and so I think along with investing, we also like run business together. So it's not like you're our silver guy or you're our crypto guy. we all are kind of intertwined into things, which is nice. Again, like the pre-aforementioned group chat, that's always going off. I mean, it's always like, dude, you gotta buy right now. Like, this is a really good time, or like, this coin's really good. So lots of these things are going on. Do we want to go into a deep dive into like what 3 things do we want to talk about? What 3 or 4 things do we want to discuss?
I have an idea. I kind of want to do a little bit of a debate here of which is the best, because we're all very, very bullish on these things, but
Well, the
one
truth
is superior over
No,
others.
They're all
I
good.
disagree.
I would definitely put money into gold. I'm very passionate about real estate as well. I just know the most about crypto, but that doesn't mean that I have a favor toward one or the other. I think that they're all equally like good quality of an investment, and they're all going to make you
Right.
substantial amounts of money if you invest into them wisely.
100%. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, which is
Yeah.
another reason why the 4 of us kind of talking often about different things is good, because otherwise I would just be on a grind, doing
Buy a
construction
house.
and buying a house, right?
Yeah.
Like flipping the houses that we do like that. That's obviously like tons of fun. It's a great way to make money, but with some of those profits, like you had me go buy a lot of silver the other day, and that was fun. Like waiting for it to get here, that was a lot of fun. And so just doing different things is awesome. Ren, I'd love to hear from you, kind of your thoughts as someone who's been doing this for a long time. I mean, how old when you started trading on the stock market?
I was 8 years old when I started
Crazy.
trading
Yeah.
stocks on the stock market.
And when did you start seeing consistent profit? Like, was there a moment where you're like, man, you know what, this finally clicks, I understand this, I'm making money now?
Okay, so my big breakthrough was not stocks, guys. It was cryptocurrency, and it was actually Dogecoin.
Okay.
Really?
I bought it before it was a cent. I bought it way
Wow.
before a cent.
Wow.
I invested $20, and back then, this was when I was 9 years old, so $20 was like my entire savings
that was a
account.
lot. Back in the
And
day.
I ended up selling that Dogecoin like a year and a half later for about $1,300
Wow.
from
Wow.
from 20
That
bucks.
is
That's
deep.
wild. I did not know that.
That's
And
a crazy
so I realized at that point, oh wow, investing can make money. So at that point, I was just studying stocks. But when I really got good at it, I believe it was like 2 years into research and actually doing it. So like for the time that I actually put money in, I would say I was making consistent investments that were profiting after about 2 years. I was losing a lot of money on the way though.
Which is very impressive. I mean, one thing we all need to understand about Ren is Ren's brain works different. This man is like a legitimate genius.
Genius.
I
So
think all our brains work differently.
I
We don't fit in a box.
I know Caden's brain definitely works differently, but
Ah.
yeah, but I love that, man. I did not know that. That's a really cool story.
That's very.
It kind of shows you that as a 9-year-old, it's not rocket science to make money. It's really not that difficult. A 9-year-old put in $20 and pulled out 1,000. That's incredible.
And
That's,
with that, Caden, I'd like to hear from you about what did you started doing. I mean, I remember when you started mowing lawns, and then all of a sudden you're hiring adults to mow lawns for you and going to businesses. So, what did your journey look like doing that? Obviously, like I was part of that the first couple of years, and then kind of went off and did my own thing. But what did that look like for you?
So yeah, like you said, when I was 9, I think
I
I started mowing lawns. He was 11, I was 9. We went and knocked on people's doors and said, "Hey, we'll mow your lawn for $20." Right? We got up to like 25 customers weekly, which is a lot of income a week as 9 and 11-year-olds.
It was a
So
lot of
we
time,
started
though. Also,
we
it took a
started
lot of
breaking
time.
it in. Yeah, it was obviously hard. It's a physical job, but we started bringing in a lot of dough. And me and him, we kind of started thinking, what do we do with this? Because it's just sitting in our bank right now. We were like, well, why can't we go put it into something? And that's when my dad kind of introduced silver to us. My dad is pretty bullish on silver, and he was like, you guys should buy some of this. So I did. I bought it when it was at $14 an ounce, and then I sold it at 25. I wish I would have held on to it because now it's at like
It's at 48.
48 right
Wow.
now, which is incredible.
That's wild.
But it's really a blessing to make money. I think no matter what age you are, it's not difficult to just go put your money into some sort of investment, whether that's silver, crypto, real estate, or stocks. It's not difficult. Like, as teens, we're able to trade stocks through
Youth
teen
accounts?
account. Yeah, through
Yeah.
youth accounts. So it's not impossible. A lot of people think that it's a bunch of
It is
complicated
difficult though.
stuff.
And I
Yes,
think that's one
it's-
thing.
It's harder.
It's hard
It's
as a
hard
9-year-old
to
to be like,
learn.
hey mom, dad, I'm gonna go buy some silver. Especially if they're like, well, that's really cool, but like why? And that's a big question. Is like why? And that's for a lot of people, like convincing your parents, talking to your parents about it. There were definitely some larger investments you can say that took a lot of convincing, and we've only started to see some of those things come to light in the past couple of years. But it wasn't like we were buying land as 13-year-olds, and
Yeah.
I wish we were in a position to do that, but
We can't
that
do
wasn't always the case. But I did like what you said. Making money's not hard. Making money's easy. And you don't need to have I think we should just go into this. Like, you don't need to have a ton of money to get started, right? Like Ren, you
$20.
obviously make money weekly or monthly, and then that's the money that you go out and you put into other things, and then with that you see a huge amount of growth, right? But taking that money that you've made is a big thing. Caden, you doing lawns and then hiring other people to do your lawns for you. You took a small amount of money, and first it was like $20, and then all of a sudden it was like $40, and then you're making money every week, and then you have hundreds or thousands coming in, and doing something with that. So that's a big thing. I'd like to discuss that at some point, what to do with that money. But the first step is just hard work.
Yeah.
Just getting some seed money to start with.
Like I'm a big trader. I trade a lot of crypto and I make some good money off of that. And I finance the trading for that just off of a basic job at McDonald's. You don't have to be in some ultra high place to be able to start putting your money to work for you and investing it. And I make much more than the average employee there because I take the average paycheck, but I take most of the paycheck and I put it into things that are going to make me more money, perhaps even exponentially.
100%. I do like that, and that's a hard thing, especially getting started. Hard work, especially as a kid and as a teenager. It's sometimes it's hard to be like, man, $10 an hour. Like, I don't know if that's what I want to do, and eventually you can work your way up to things. But I mean, if you can get to the point where you're getting enough hours in at a job, or you are
scooch in a little bit.
Some of
You're a
those
little.
things.
People can't see you, bud. You need to
I am
scooch
pretty
in a little.
far out there. Could I say I like this corner? But yeah, back to what I was saying. You just need to work hard and get that seed money to start. Yeah, Lorenzo. Back to you, my boy.
Okay, so one thing that I've been hearing a lot of is it's super easy to start. Well, here's another thing with investing young. You do not have bills to pay yet.
That's
Yes.
true.
So since we do not have bills to pay, this is your chance to get a head start. Because once you get those bills, maybe you have to pay for a car, maybe you have to pay for a mortgage on your house. You can use the money that you built up as a teenager or as a kid, and you can use that in the future. That is one of my biggest why I invest, as a kid. That is one of my biggest things that drives me, is that I know that my future is going to be more safe because I have assets built up now. Even if I stopped investing right now, which I don't think I ever will stop investing, but if I stopped investing right now, I can pay for car insurance for a car, and I can already buy a car at age 15, guys. I can already buy myself a car, pay for the car insurance. I could probably pay for a good amount of rent on an apartment. I mean, if I stopped right now, it's not going to, I'm still going to have something.
100%. And that's another thing is saving. And I've watched the three of you and myself grow from a point of let's go buy Pokemon cards, or let's go to saving money. And at least for me and Caden, from a young age, it was you save your money, then you invest your money, and that's how you build wealth. And I don't disagree with that at all. Saving your money is definitely hard, and it's definitely hard, especially for me, to take a chunk of money and be like, okay, I'm gonna go invest this, and there's a chance that it's gonna take a long time for it to grow, or there's a chance that I'm just gonna lose this completely, and that's a scary thought, especially when you don't have that much. But yeah, it can be easy, and the four of us are here to help you make it easy. We're here to teach you how to do it easy, because I think of investing, or I used to think of it as investing, and I'm like, man, this is so complicated. Like, I don't understand all this computer stuff. I don't understand how I just give someone money and then they give me 20% back as soon as their business is profitable. But yeah, back to our discussion. We kind of got sidetracked there. Back to our discussion. I don't think any of these things is better than the other. Like obviously, like we each have our thing, but none is. Maybe one is better, but that's just my personal opinion, right? Ren, what do you think? What do you think we can do to take seed money, take money that we've used through hard work, and what is like for someone starting with someone $20, $100, $1,000? What's the best thing for them to go do?
Okay.
In your opinion.
So $20 is a small amount of money in the large scale of things where you can put $10,000 on an investment or whatever. I think with $20, the best thing that you could do is either buy stocks or cryptocurrency. The reason being is because those are very, very easy to put your money into. I can find a good quality stock for $20. Another thing that's amazing with stocks is you can buy humongous companies, but you can buy fractional shares. So like Amazon stock, for example, is $170 a share. You could go and put $20 into Amazon and still make money if Amazon goes up. A lot of investments, they have this huge barrier to entry. This is where real estate is not a good thing because you can't just get into it. You can't just go into it right away.
I disagree, but we'll get to that.
Well, unless you have like a good down payment on a property, you're going to have very high interest rates and very high amounts of money that you need to pay back per month. So I'm not trying to trash on real estate. I love real estate. It's just not the best thing for an absolute beginner or maybe even a youth to go into just because it's a lot more
Involved.
Yeah, it's harder to get into, whereas anybody who's a youth watching us right now, you could go log onto your phone, get the Phantom Wallet app, get Kraken, get Coinbase, whatever, and put some money into crypto, into some stocks. Why would you let's analyze this. As a smart person, you can either put your money into a bank or you can put it into an investment like stocks or crypto. In the bank, you may get some growth because the bank will give you interest, but you are not going to get near as much potential for growth in your money as if you put it in stocks or crypto, because those things are things that are going to grow maybe even exponentially as time goes on. The mainstream culture and media and school, they all tell you put it in a savings account, save it, put it away until you retire, maybe you'll be a millionaire one day. But the people who invest are the people who are going to actually build generational wealth and build good lives for themselves, because they didn't just put their money away, they put their money to work.
And the bank account right now, like that I use, the interest rate is 2%. That is very, very small. The average stock market appreciation per year is 10%, and that's on the S&P 500. So would you rather get 2% or 10%? This is basic knowledge. Would you rather have 2% or 10%, guys? Like
10,
10.
obviously.
Everyone would want 10%. And cryptocurrency can even make higher than 10%. But I'm just saying the average of the entire stock market is 10%. I've had investments like Nvidia or Amazon where I'm making 20%, 22%. My highest investment in the stock market, I made like 55% in a year. So that is a place where you can just park your money. You don't even have to buy a risky stock. You could buy S&P 500 shares, which is just, it tracks the entire stock market, and you'll make 10% a year. That's so easy.
Instead of, we're kind of talking about, instead of just having your money sitting in a bank, why wouldn't you just go put it in, instead of making 2% and 10%? And I think this is kind of where silver comes in. It's probably one of the least risky investment, if not the least risky here, because of the industrial value it holds and just the value all around the world it holds. But it's great because if your parents don't want you to go put money into the stock market because they've had a bad experience with the stocks or something, you can go put it in silver where it's really not risky and it's kind of just trading paper into an actual good asset. Instead of just having a little number on your bank account, you can put it into something that has grown. So when I started investing back in 2019, when it was at like $19, $20 a share, and now a few years down the road it's at $50 a share, that is a really, really good return rate for something that really isn't that risky. So instead of going and risking a bunch of money, even though it's not that risky, you should just go put money somewhere instead of letting it sit in your bank collecting a few cents a year. You might as well put it in somewhere that has the potential to grow and make you a good income from just sitting there.
I do agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think that obviously, like, you love silver and you love buying gold, and you know that excites you, and you definitely believe in that very confidently, and I admire that for sure. But I don't think we should. I feel like it's always good to have money in the bank, right? Always have money on your card, and you know, there are definitely times where I'm like, okay, well, we're just gonna throw a bunch of cash into this, but it's all about knowledge. It's not like we're going and buying a random stock or buying a random new coin and being like, well, it's probably gonna get 10% better than my 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. But that's not always the case, and I think we should also talk about losses where there have been a lot of losses, and that's part of the learning journey, right? And growing, but yeah, it's good to be educated. It's good to learn. I remember we were probably 12 or 13 when you started really grinding, learning about the stock market, learning about cryptocurrency. Which back in the day, I mean, that was a long time ago, and people were skeptical, and I remember like trying to tell people, at school or things, and be like, bro, what? I'm like, no, you gotta trust. Like, here's all the data. Like, look at this. Like, on my notebook that I've written down. They're like, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, all right, well, you're lost. When in reality, like, they were often right. Like, it's not always perfect. Should we go each and give like a general plan, like what we want to do, what our next 10 years looks like as far as investing and making money? Because obviously, like, we have different ventures and things that we're trying to accomplish, but along with investing, we have businesses that we're trying to grow. We have different things that we're trying to do. And as far as like financial success and freedom, what does the next 10 years look like for each one of us individually and as a group?
I love that. I'll take this one first. So in the next 10 years, I want to acquire a lot of assets, real estate, crypto.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Any physical and digital assets I can get, that's the goal, because assets create wealth. That is how you get wealthy. But my goal is in the next 2 years to have 1,000 ounces of silver, which is a lot of money. That's kind of
from 100 to 1,000.
Yeah, I'm at like 50 right now, so I got a little bit to go.
You sold.
But
you should never sell.
I
You're too into selling.
I should have kept.
I just like to
holding
keep
on.
that.
But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to start a marketing firm. That's one of my specialties.
No more side projects. You want to just dive in.
I'm diving in. I started last night setting up a bunch of actual like business stuff. So I'm gonna start doing that to get some income that I can put into those assets. And hopefully in 10 years, I will be driving a Porsche and have a compound.
Woo!
Oh, I do like the compound. Should we
all
talk
gonna
about
live-
the compound,
we're
or
all
is that
gonna
something
live
we
on
want to save?
We'll save that for the end.
Yeah, save it for a little.
Okay.
Save it for a little. Okay, so it's me. In the next 10 years, well, first of all, I see myself buying a couple acres of land just to go camping on and just enjoy with my friends, because
Along with the compound.
life is short. Yes,
Yes.
we have a compound that we've all been thinking of, but as far as personal goals, I think I want 10 ounces of gold,
10 ounces, okay.
because
And guys, we have 10 years.
yeah, this is 10
Yeah,
years.
this
Okay.
is.
I want to build this YouTube channel that you are watching this on to 100,000 subscribers in the next 10 years. I also believe that connections are important. That's kind of what we've been talking about. I really just want to continue to build connections, but I think my biggest end goal is real estate. That's the top of the ladder. Everyone wants that. I just want to, my biggest goal right now is the compound we've all talked about.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
we'll see if that happens in the next couple months. That
It
would
will.
that would definitely be awesome.
Top tier.
Or at least start getting utilities in there. But yeah, Noah, what about you?
Yeah, so obviously, I know for myself I'm going on a mission because I need to go serve the Lord first, because He's the one that's gonna really
Go really
bless us.
find yourself, Noah.
Gotta
Yes,
go,
sir.
gotta go serve God. So, what I'm gonna do is I have about a year and a half before that. So I'm going to just stockpile and earn as much money as I can through just a job and trading and investing in all those things. And then once I have at least a couple $1,000s stockpiled, I'll be able to put that into investments like gold or crypto. And then hopefully, if those investments appreciate, right, when I get back from my mission, I'll be able to start considering either starting a marketing firm like Caden, because I'm very good at marketing, or I want to go into real estate. Real estate is ultimately my end goal for what I want to go into. Is
Oh,
kind
so-
of
Real estate's the
real estate is
strat
the
for
end
everybody.
goal.
That's the end
I
for
mean,
everybody.
I mean, when you're on a 10-year, when we're looking 10
10
years,
years,
guys,
Oh, yeah.
real,
Long time,
real
we got
estate,
that.
10
real
years, a lot's
estate,
gonna change.
a lot changes, so real estate becomes a possibility more.
Bigger
So,
possibility for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's let Noah keep going and finish what he was saying, but then I'm excited for Connor.
Well, just that was pretty much it. But like, while I do claim to be the crypto guy, ultimately, I gotta agree with Connor. I'm passionate about real estate. It's really, I feel it's just my calling. It's what's gonna make me the big bucks, you know, to live the lifestyle that we all want to get us that compound. and
100%.
Oh,
so-
that compound. Connor, go.
Yeah.
Connor, go.
So, yeah, first of all, I love what all of you said. And obviously try not to share like too many of the goals, too many of the ideas. We want to keep some of those a secret, so we did do a good job of that.
Can't have all of it.
Business
Yeah,
secrets.
unlike the three of them, I have a hard time sitting in front of a computer for 5 hours, doing work for some company or restaurant or something. Doing marketing for them. I have a hard time sitting in front of a computer watching stock trends. And while I do this, peer pressured by these guys, I have an easier time understanding things of physical value and physical worth. So along with silver, my biggest thing is real estate. And with that, like you said real estate, there's a lot. And I mean, you guys talked about like, well, buying a house, but I mean like there's this app, Fundrise, you can put as much or little money into and watch that growth. It'll diversify it into all different kinds of things. But there's so much more to real estate than that. My big thing is growth and commercial growth, really. So my plan is to, along with buying this compound, go get my general contractor's license. That's one thing that I've always wanted to do since I was a little boy. I was like, I want to be a builder. And there's obviously a lot, and there's different levels and scales to that. But I want to be the one who's like, you know what? I want to go, obviously, like, we have the ranch and things. So, like, 64,000 acres. Let's take that. Let's go develop this. Let's get utilities in there. Let's get a builder in here. Let's get permits. Let's get this thing moving. And so that's always been easier for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this, smaller house. And then we spent a ton of time fixing it up. And, that's always hard. But, then selling, you made $50K maybe. Maybe you barely broke even. That's always been a scary thought. But, yeah. My big thing is definitely that. In the next 10 years, I don't know, man. What does that look like for us? We definitely had some good thoughts, but I feel like in the next 10 years, things could grow a lot, and we could go from a couple $100,000 to definitely
Millions.
tens of millions easily.
Yeah, millions in the next 10 years. That's so possible. And I can see it.
100%.
I can see
Really
it.
Scenario.
I've already been looking at it. Just where I'm looking right now, at least personally, I'm looking at almost. My goal is 100K right now. So
Mhm.
we're already growing closer to that millions.
We're not quite there yet, but we will be there eventually.
So I think all of our end goal is real estate, but in between real estate, what are the
Real estate
Specific.
as investing, like our end goal is too.
Yeah, our end goal is to invest in real estate and have those assets. But what are the steps to get to real estate? Like, it's gonna be hard to get a lot of money to put into real
I
estate.
see,
What are the
guys,
goals there?
I
How are we
genuinely-
gonna make those dollars?
I think there's a lot, and when you hear the term real estate, we've talked a lot about this already.
Then we're
but,
locking
in.
Yeah, we really are locking into real estate, but you hear the term like real estate, what does that entail? Are you a real estate agent? Are you a developer? Are you the builder? Are you someone who just hired a GC to come build for you?
Go find deals.
Are you flipping houses? Are you just taking a finding fee from finding a property and someone funding that? What are you doing? Are you someone just on this app Fundrise, you put in $2,000 and you're just like, I'm just gonna let it sit for 30 years? Like, what does that look like? And so, I mean, for us, like, we've obviously talked about it enough, but I think the goal is to own eventually hundreds of thousands of acres and develop that. And obviously, like, that takes years. But over the next decade, I think we want to take our land, or land and turn that into commercial. Yeah, we want
Yeah,
to build the empire.
definitely.
Okay, well,
Commercial.
so we've all talked about land. So as a target of value, what are we shooting for in 10 years? I would say for me personally, a millionaire. Being a millionaire in the next 10 years.
Yes.
I think
hitting
The
past,
big milli.
and I don't want a million, and I want a million liquid that I can
Okay.
move easily. I want
That's
that,
different.
and then plus a bunch of assets. So when I hit a million
Whoa.
liquid, that's
Big taker.
when.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think in the
That's
next 10
when I hit
years,
it.
if we're going overall value, and you know, it gets hard as we rule in like the value of like companies that we own and different things that we're in. But I think in the next 10 years, like I want to be worth like 20 million. Like
20
I
million.
don't know, guys.
Whoa.
I think we really need to shoot
You
for the
can do
stars
it.
here.
We're gonna shoot for the stars.
And here's the
we'll land
thing.
on the moon.
When it comes to wealth, and you hear this, and at some point we should go over it because I know all of us are deeply inspired by people like Luke Belmar, the Tate brothers.
Oh,
Definitely.
I
yeah.
personally
I love
love
them.
Justin Waller. I love what he
Mhm.
does. I see a lot of the things he does, and I go, yeah, see, that makes sense to me. And so taking things that they've done or said and going and being like, you know what, that makes sense. And as we discuss these things and being like, well, we want to be worth $20 million. Like, it's doable. And back to the Tates, like, one thing that pretty sure it was Andrew said is he was like, you know what, you're either still a brokey because of because you're stupid or you're incompetent or you're arrogant or lazy, all of these different things. And chances are you're not stupid. None of us are stupid.
We're very smart.
And
Gotta
we're also
be
incredibly
humble.
humble.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously, but
Yes.
like I'm not a genius. You just understand like hard work and investing, and that's a big thing. Is that's one thing I personally can't stress enough. Is like if you're willing to go work hard, and as a teenager especially, like you're probably gonna miss out. And obviously we do lots of fun things, but some of that's come because of
Working.
like working. Like I remember the entire year I was 15. Like I was only locked in. I was only working. I'd go to work during the day and come back. I'd work all night, and that was definitely rough. But looking back now, like the experiences I've built, the connections I've made, different things that I've done, and the ability to go from like, okay, well, I need to go work in my job too.
Time card.
Okay, right.
Gotta look at the time. God,
Here
we can talk for hours. Everyone can.
Really.
We
for
we
sure.
love finance so much. We could talk for hours.
Yeah,
Would you guys all
100%.
agree?
Yes.
Big passion.
We have to hop off because we have to go
No.
somewhere. We'll get kicked out in a minute. But we'll let Connor finish up his thoughts, and I want you to end off the stream, dude.
Okay.
Run it.
Yeah, I think we've to summarize a lot of things. Finding like-minded people, going into different things, diversifying your portfolio. At some point, I'd like to go deep dive into like each individual thing. We kind of went on a rant about real estate there for a second, but going into each individual thing, 10-year plans. That was cool. It's good to hear what you guys had to say. Yeah, we thank you guys for tuning in, listening. This was awesome. Let's get to them next time.
Yeah, we'll see
All
you
right,
guys.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. We're gonna have to go turn it off. Thank you. Also, I saw someone from Poland in here. Thank you so much for watching from Poland. That's
Thank
crazy.
Yeah, thanks to all of you that came
Love
to
you
watch.
guys. We'll
Appreciate
see you
it.
guys all on the next stream and podcast. This is the Young Gun